Hello. Welcome to today's episode of Black Belt Startup with Ferris. Thank you for tuning in. What's new in the world of entrepreneurship? A lot of founders I meet struggle with managing their time effectively, getting out of the weeds, wearing too many hats, and also staying focused on the right things. Now, if that sounds like you're in the right place because today we're going to fix that. I grew and sold my 8-figure consulting company and built several other businesses. And it took me a while to figure out a system and the mindset to organize my time. I don't have a magic wand. I don't have some sort of productivity hack, but I've developed a system that helped me and helped other founders, other entrepreneurs to be a bit more disciplined, to create some freedom and space so that we can focus on what matters most to the business. And I have that additional bandwidth that I can spare time and energy to work on the business instead of being overwhelmed and overrun by all the work that is needed for the business. And that's what I want to address today. I want to help you identify what is it that's limiting your business growth and also the specific actions that you can take. I'll be sharing a tool that I haven't shared with the community previously. So you're going to be the first ones to see it. It's my founder schedule optimizer, and I'm going to walk you through it and then share a link so that you can make a copy and make it your own at no cost. But before we dive in, just a quick technology check here. We seem to be doing okay. And then on a couple of housekeeping items. So whether you're watching or listening live or maybe tuning in later, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment on whichever platform you're on: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, on YouTube, of course, on our website. I'd love to hear from you about the struggles that you're going through. My mission now, after all these years, 20 plus years in entrepreneurship and building several 7-figure businesses and one 8-figure business, I'm on a mission to help you succeed. Whether you are thinking of starting a business, or maybe you've started and you're struggling, that's what I focus on. I want you to get on your feet and have a roadmap to grow the business and scale it and then reach your goals, financial goals and otherwise. So leave me a comment, ask me a question. I have these episodes, I have these sessions every other week now. We go live on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then you can access those episodes on those sessions anytime. And let me know, again, about the struggles, the challenges, the issues you're having in sales and marketing, finding the right business partner, issues with your business partners, can't hire the right person, can't get leads, can't get the first few customers, whatever the case might be. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer you. And if it's something very personal, very private, email me at ferris@startupwithferris.com. Ferris spelled Feras, like my first name, and then I will reply to you, and we will keep all your information confidential. So now that this is behind us, let's jump back into it. See, my core belief and my experience is that smart consultants, smart business owners don't grow by doing more. They grow by doing less of the wrong things. Now, a side note here, don't take this as an excuse to work less hard. I said less of the wrong things, because if you are serious about growing your business, if you're serious about scaling and building a 7-figure, maybe later an 8-figure business, and a 40-hour a week work schedule is just not going to work. No matter what you hear on YouTube, no matter what schemes there are out there about passive income, it takes a lot of hard work beyond 40 hours to grow and scale a business. So when I'm saying I want you to do less of the wrong things, I'm not saying I want you to work less hard, but I want you to think of these spots that are draining, these tasks, these business functions that could be draining your time and energy. So that's the first thing I want to focus on. I'm going to walk you through all of that. So you have a template, you have a tool that you can use for your own business. I'll also show you how to identify what to delegate, what to automate, what to streamline. And by the way, I've covered delegation just a couple of weeks ago on in one of our episodes. So check it out. If you're struggling with delegation, as I believe, yeah, it was Richard Branson who said, for entrepreneurs, if you are serious about growth, you've got to learn how to delegate. So delegation is one thing, but then what I want to equip you with is the Founder Schedule Optimizer to help you reclaim hours, several hours every week. But I want to start with a framework, with some framing here, a simple 2x2 matrix that I have. So let's put this on the slide here for those of you watching. So you'll see that we have two dimensions. One is things that you are good at versus things that you are not good at. And then the other dimension is things that you should be doing, and then things you shouldn't be doing. And that's really, really, really important. So before we go into the template that I have, and again, I'm going to walk you through it here on the screen, I want you to think about this. As a founder, you hear me saying a lot, I want you to wear all the hats. So you might have an objection here saying, Faris, you're saying things I should be doing versus things I shouldn't be doing. In other videos, you might have heard me saying, like, I want you to wear all the hats. So what I want you to be aware of is, yes, initially when you're starting a business, or maybe when you're entering a new market or entering maybe a new phase of the business, I want you as a founder to do everything yourself, because two reasons. One is that if you don't know what's involved and you don't do it yourself, how are you going to be able to hire someone? How are you going to discern who will be a good candidate for you? So if you don't know greatness, you haven't done it yourself, it's really hard for you to know whom to hire in the future. So I do want you to learn and do everything for do everything yourself initially. But at one point, you have to figure out a way to delegate some of these tasks, and that would be under this category of things you shouldn't be doing. So that's one objection I hear. The other one that might be going through your mind is, well, hey, Faris, it's easy for you to say delegate and hire someone and outsource the headache, as I always say, but hey, I can't afford to hire. I have to do everything by myself because of cash flow. So I hear you. If this is the concern, if you believe in these concepts of delegation and focusing on organizing your time and organizing how you work on the business, if you believe in that and cash flow is an issue, then I want you to check out a video that I produced and launched maybe 6 weeks ago. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Pricing Strategies and pricing models. So a lot of the founders struggle with pricing, and they leave a whole lot of money on the table. So check out that video. We talk about hourly based, we talked about project based pricing, we talked about value based tiered, 7 models altogether, plus some strategies. So if you're struggling with cash flow, check out the channel again at Startup with Faris on YouTube, and we have a lot of videos to help you improve your margins, get more revenue, get more profit. So that's those two objections I hear all the time. But I want to go back to what I want to highlight here with these, what you see on the slide, these two dimensions. One is that, again, I want you to think as we're going through this, as you're listening, as you're watching, what are the things that I'm good at? What are the things that I'm not good at? And then what are the things that I should be doing at this phase of the business versus the things that I shouldn't be doing? And I mean, as a matter of fact, and based on numbers, based on stats, 36% of business owners do all their tasks. And I can tell you with certainty, if you continue to do all the tasks, you are not going to grow. So that's really important to keep in mind. And I know I struggle with this. And we as founders, especially if you're a specialized consultant and something, you're really good at what you do, you want to do everything with care, with attention, with love. You want to, a perfectionist. But at one point, you have to let go. You have to provide, you have to allow others to come in and take on some of these tasks that you should not be doing at the specific phase of the business that you're in. So, with that in mind, I want to go to let me share my screen and go to our founder schedule optimizer. And we sit here and you see again, we'll have the link in the description and you can make your own copy and then use it, abuse it. Email me if you're stuck on not sure how to populate this data. But we'll start here simple. You go to the first tab, the things that you are good at and the things you should be doing and the thing let me start right here. The things that you're good at. And I have some sample data for you. Don't copy and paste this and just assume that you're good at these things, or maybe you're not good at these other things. So start here. For example, a founder could be great at client communication, great at delivering client work. They could be great at solving complex client problems. They could be an amazing networker. So start listing the things that you're good at. So when you make your own copy, delete this and then add your own data. And then next, things you're not good at. So I could be awful with, I'm more on the sort of right brain I'm the right brain type. I struggle with processes and systems and automation. Numbers and spreadsheets, they're just not me. So I struggle with bookkeeping and financial reporting. Maybe graphic design, you end up spending a whole lot of time coming up with nice slides, for your pitches. Or maybe you haven't worked with CRMs and you don't know what a sales process is or a sales funnel is. So I want you to be very honest with yourself, be very objective, and spend half an hour documenting the things that you're good at, and then scroll down as you see on the screen here and document the things that you are not good at. And if you're still struggling to come up with this list, ask people who know you, people who care about you. They'll tell you. And if you just left corporate recently, check out your last performance review. If you were lucky, if you were fortunate to have had a good manager, they've given you honest feedback about your performance. So again, get input, do your own assessment, ask others. They'll tell you. You'll have a good picture of the things that you're good at and the things that you're not good at. The second part of this exercise is identifying things you should be doing versus things you shouldn't be doing. And this is really important. And I want to spend some time on this here because initially, as I said earlier, I want you to do everything, wear all the hats, because you have to learn this stuff. You have to learn what's involved. You have to learn and appreciate what great is. And you can't do that without you doing all the work. Later, as you start to grow, as you start to figure things out, there's certain things you shouldn't be doing. But I want to first look at this to give you an example. Things you should be doing: crafting your own unique value proposition, talking to ideal clients regularly. Like you should be doing this. There's no escape. If it's hard for you to talk to clients, I don't know how you can grow a business. Well, you might do everything online behind the scene, but in services and consulting, interacting with people is a big thing. You can be great at creating valuable content to help other people build authority, or maybe for your own content. You're great at hiring. You were a manager in a previous life and you hired a lot of people and you know how to go through that process. You're great in sales. So whatever the case might be, identify the things that you believe based on where you are in the business you should be doing today. And then also the second part of this exercise here is that identify the things that you shouldn't be doing. So maybe manually sending invoices and reminders, designing your own website from scratch, handling low-level admin work. And you can go down the list, posting on social media without a strategy, doing your own legal contracts, just going to ChatGPT or Gemini and entering some quick prompt and getting a contract and using it without even reviewing this contract. You can do that to learn about contracts, but I always advise entrepreneurs to lean on a lawyer or maybe a legal service You shouldn't automate some of this stuff. You can get a draft, a solid draft from ChatGPT, but should always have an attorney to talk about this. Check out our videos on working with attorneys. If you don't have an attorney, that's a discussion for another time. But once you go through this exercise, you've identified, let me expand here, the things you should be, you're good at, the things you're not good at, and then things you should be doing, and then things you shouldn't be doing. And I want to pause here and go to a quote, one of my favorite quotes here. Let's put this on slides. By the late Stephen Covey, he said, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And this is from his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read more than once early on in my life, in my career. An amazing book. I recommend for everyone. It's a classic, really, really foundational, I think, and just in life in general. But the idea here, what I want you to think about when you're thinking about what should I be doing, I'm not talking about today, like this afternoon. You might have to follow up on a sales call, or maybe you have to learn about a new feature, new product. You want to enhance your pricing. But when you look at it at the beginning of the month, or looking at it maybe this quarter, like what should I be focusing on? And I think what a lot of founders miss is that every phase of the business requires different types or type of attention. And even maybe throughout the week, there's certain things that you should be doing. And then certain things, again, you can delegate, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But I'll show you here. Give me 1 second here. Actually, before I go back to the optimizer. I want you to let me show you here on my screen. If we go to our Black Belt Startup site, by the way, you can get access to our free course, 12 modules you can finish in 1 hour, but that's not the topic today. But you see here the pillars. These are the business pillars, right? And we have them in a specific order, but if you're just starting your business or you're about to start a business, you might be in this mindset. You're still not sure about what's involved in entrepreneurship. Should I take the leap? Or you might have an idea in mind, and you want to start vetting the idea. Or you might be taking this idea now and writing your business plan, or looking for business partners, and you're looking to understand what's involved. Or you might have already started and now you want to brand your company, or come up with a logo on the website and all that good stuff. Or now you're marketing, you're trying to sell, you're trying to deliver, maybe you've already hired people and you've already got clients, and now you're delivering services. So these are different aspects, different pillars, as we call them at Black Belt Startup. So the one thing, in terms of the matrix I had, the things to focus on, the things that you should be doing versus the thing that you shouldn't be doing, in terms of maybe a proportion of your time, it really depends on the phase of the business that you're in. So for example, if you're in this ideation phase, if you are still thinking about what to do, thinking about the idea itself, like there's no point of doing marketing. You don't have anything yet to sell. So your entire time, the entire time that you have and your energy should be all around this vetting the idea, this business planning process, talking to customers, potential customers, researching your competition, right? But let's say you've passed this phase and now you've got, the service that you have, how much you want to sell it for. You put together a marketing plan. You're going to go out and network with people. You're going to go out and attend conferences. You're going to go out and attend BNIs, whatever the case might be. So now you have to focus. The main thing at this point is to learn and do the reps on marketing, right? So what you should be doing, the vast majority of your week when you're in this phase of marketing is marketing, right? When you are getting leads and qualified leads, now you have to take a portion of that time, 20, 30, 40% of your time, to follow up on these qualified leads. And then once you turn customers, you have closed contracts. Now you have to allocate time for services to deliver to the customer. So take a look when we're thinking about the things you should be doing and the things that you should not be doing. There's this dimension of the phase of the business you're in. And a lot of times I've seen early stage founders, they spend so much time, so many days and weeks just trying to figure out the right pricing model and the right service packaging, and then um, maybe work on the next 5-year business plan or the financial plan or the sales plan. My friend, if you have an idea about what you want to sell and you have an idea about your pricing, the number one thing, the most important thing at that time is for you to go out and knock on doors. So I'm maybe overemphasizing this concept of um, what you should be working on and what you shouldn't be working on. It's really, there's a factor, there's a dimension of the phase you're in, and you have to be smart about it. And at the beginning of every week, at the beginning of every month, at the beginning of every quarter, you said, this is the time to go out and sell. I'm going to put 90% of my time on selling, right? Until you have a client. Once you have a client, you have to take some time out to deliver the service that you just sold, right? And then it'll be a balancing. And then as you start to hire people, then you have to allocate time to manage and lead your team. That takes time as well. So keep that in mind as you're going through this exercise um, of defining what you should be working on and the things you shouldn't be working on. Keep that dimension of the phase of the business you're in. So now let's go back to the optimizer. So we've covered again the matrix. Now let's go into the worksheet itself. So I have something here for you that is, I think, pretty accurate, pretty complete. As always, when you make your own copy, you can add to it, you can change, the entry. So I have here column B, you see business function, and I have this organized by admin operations, finance, accounting, sales and business development, marketing, client delivery, product strategy, hiring, legal compliance, right? So then I have sample data for you here, different tasks. For example, under admin operations, scheduling meetings, filing documents, managing contracts, right? And then you'll see, like, under finance and accounting, invoicing clients, tracking expenses, reconciling bank statements. So I want you, this is now this is the homework, this is the action plan for you, the action item for you is to go in the sheet and start adding the time you spend on it every week. So maybe take a look, reflect on the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks on an average week. How much time am I spending filing documents? It could be virtual filing or actual filing, depending on your business, right? How much time is it on ordering supplies or tools or software? Maybe I'm spending 2 hours, right? So start populating this. Tracking expenses, 2 hours, maybe invoicing clients, 1 hour, right? Whatever you are spending your time on, go through this list and start adding the hours you spend. So once you do that, you'll see in the second tab, I have some sample data for you. Again, use this as a guide, populate as you see fit based on your own service. And then you can add rows, and you can add, change this data based on what works for you. So that is the step that I want you to do, is to go in here and just reflect on the last couple of weeks, or if you haven't done this, starting from today, not tomorrow, start on a piece of paper. If you don't have a time tracking software that you use, just on a piece of paper and a Google sheet, just look at the end of every day, like, see, where did I spend my time today? Okay. And enter that data. Just do this for a couple of weeks. Okay. And then once we've done that, I want you to go back and start categorizing each of these tasks. And how do we categorize? Remember the matrix. We have things you're good at, and things you're not good at, and things you should be doing, and things you shouldn't be doing, right? 4 things. So I'll expand here if you are still with me. And for those of you who are maybe listening that you're not watching, you're missing out, but you have access to our YouTube channel, and you can go back and watch this in action. But it's pretty straightforward. You can download the link and then start populating this data. So let's say the first one, right? I entered filing documents. Which category I'm going to say I'm very good at it. Okay. So do that. I'm very good at this. And I should be doing, well, you know what? No, I'm good at, but I shouldn't be doing, unless it's really that initial phase of your business where you are doing this, everything by yourself. But in your mind, ideally, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be out there. There's nothing wrong in filing documents. I used to pick up the garbage, and we didn't have janitorial services. We were saving on everything. I did everything in a business, from cleaning the restroom to be out there speaking at a conference, right? You do what it takes, no problem whatsoever. But should you be doing that as a founder? That's the question. Then you go to the next one, ordering supplier tools, the same category, right? Maybe I'm not good at, and I shouldn't be doing. So I'm going to select that one. Not good at, because I always order the wrong thing, right? Data entry. I'm awful at data entry. Okay, bad at, but maybe I shouldn't be doing either, right? Invoicing clients. Okay, I'm really good at it, and I love it when I click send to the clients, but I shouldn't be doing that. So good at, shouldn't be doing. Let's see what else. Lead generation. You are not good at, but you should be doing. So I'm going to say bad at, should be doing. And then CRM updates. You got to update your CRM. Otherwise, you're not going to have a sales process. You're not going to be able to grow. And let's say you're very good at it. You're methodical. So I'm saying good at, should be doing. Okay. So, and just kind of to randomly select something, it's just for you to see the 4 categories. So eventually you will have these 5 categories. Bad at, shouldn't be doing. Bad at, should be doing. Good at, should be doing. Good at, should not be doing. Okay. So go through this exercise. Again, another 30 minutes, worth every minute of it. This is investment in your time. This is you working on the business, not in the business. And that is a prerequisite to growth. And for those of you watching or listening live with us, if something's not clear, you have a question, please, or you've done it differently, I'd love to hear from you. Just leave us a comment, and I'll be more than happy to. Or if you have a specific question, please add your question in whichever platform you're on, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So, but that is the step we talked about. First, we entered the data, and second, we entered the categorization. We categorized which task belongs to which one of those 4 categories, right? And as I said, I do have the second tab is all sample data that is populated for you. And the good thing here, this is a bonus, is that I have a formula here that tallies up all of this. So you look at the bottom of the second tab, and also it is available. This summary view is also available at the bottom of the enter your own data sheet. So you'll see here that on an average week, the things that I'm good at and should be doing, I'm spending 23 hours, right? The things that I'm good at, should not be doing, I'm spending 10 hours. And then things that I'm bad at, should be doing 12 hours. And then things that I'm bad at, shouldn't be doing is 8 hours. And as you can tell, this is very actionable data. In analytics, when we had Fortune 500 clients, when I had an analytics agency, and also now with our eSense, my other business at eSense, we always tell clients there's a lot of data, but once you start to segment the data, like we segmented the data based on these 4 categories, and then once you start to aggregate the data, trend the data, it becomes more actionable. So now, instead of guessing, I have data, albeit it could be plus or minus 10, 20%, that's okay, but there's a trend. Every week, I'm spending 10 hours on things that I'm good at and I should not be doing, or things that I'm bad at and I should not be doing either. So I want you to just if you're listening to this episode, or you're watching this video and you're doing the math as we speak, I want you to pause and just look at these numbers. If you're spending 25% of your time on things you shouldn't be doing, there's no way that you are going to grow. You might end up, I don't know, with this huge burnout. You might just decide entrepreneurship is not the thing for you. I don't want you to get to that stage. So what I want to end this session with is a tool for you, and a method, actually more than a tool. We have the tool here in front of us on turning this data into something actionable. So if you go to the last tab here, tab number 4 is the sample action plan data. I took an example from the 3 categories. The one category, the things that you're good at and should be doing, no changes there, do more of that. But the other 3 categories, the things you're good at and shouldn't be doing, the things you're not good at and should be doing, or the last one, the things you're not good at but still should be doing. So here, let's take one at a time. Things that you're good at and should not be doing. For example, you're great at editing videos, but it eats up hours. Hire an editor, go on whatever platform you use for talent, or check within your network. I know a whole lot of video editors. Email me if you're looking for someone who's reliable, good, and they'll take care of you. I don't get any commission out of that, but just I'm trying to be of help. But there are a lot of ways to find good editors. So hire someone so you can use that time to grow your business. Another example, you love making slide decks, but you don't need to be doing that every time. Create templates. Maybe you have sort of an informal pitch and a formal pitch. Create some templates that you can easily manipulate, easily customize based on the person that you are pitching to. So the action item here in this category of things that you are good at and should not be doing is to delegate or outsource these tasks. So that's one example. That's where I want you to go in this tab and pick from these categories, pick things that are really consuming your time and put them here, and then develop your own specific action item. The next category is things that you're not good at and should not be doing. And what you want to do here is that you want to eliminate, you want to automate, you want to also delegate immediately. So bookkeeping, you're 2 years in the business. I've seen founders who've been in business for years and they still do their own bookkeeping. I love bookkeepers. I love accountants, CPAs. They've helped me grow my businesses, sell my businesses. But this is not something founders should be doing unless you have a background. You are a bookkeeper, you are an accountant, and maybe it's not just natural to you. But other than that, outsource the headache. Let someone else clean up your system. Make sure you have your P&L, your profit and loss in order. It becomes handy. You can focus then on analysis of the data with your CPA to help you identify where you're making money, where you're losing money, what services costing you more, all that good stuff done when you do the analysis with the bookkeeper. But do not be busying yourself with data entry. And then maybe graphic design. Also, you're spending a lot of time, and the graphics, they're coming out not very professional. They come out wrong, the wrong color. They don't, there's no branding to it. Don't do it. Just find someone who can do it for you. And over time you can hire, maybe not so expensive talent initially, but as you have better cash flow, you can hire, more talented graphic designers, and they can help you do, bigger and better things. But look at what you're spending your time and see what you can do about it according to this methodology here. And the last category, the third category, is things you're not good at but should be doing. Okay, so here, I'll give you an example. You're great at sales. You're not great at sales, and you don't have any customers. You don't have any revenue. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You have to learn sales. You have to learn marketing and sales, especially initially. Over time, as I said, at one phase of the business, once you figure things out and you have some cash flow that is earmarked for growth, yes, you can hire an agency to help you run your paid ads on Meta or Google. You can get someone to manage your email marketing. You can hire maybe an intern initially, or maybe hire someone who can be an associate to help you with social media. You can hire a salesperson at one point. And we have actually a live stream on 10 tips to hire the right talent, the right salesperson. I made a lot of mistakes hiring the wrong people. So I have all that for you if you're into this phase of hiring people. But the idea here is that if it's not something that you're not good at, but you should be doing, that's where you have to learn. You have to, in certain things, you have to do a lot of repetitions until you reach mastery. And then at one point, you can delegate as you focus on the next thing that will help you grow to the next level. So again, this is the Founder Schedule Optimizer. As just to wrap up here, you start by making a copy of this link. We'll add it in the description. Do an inventory of the things you're good at, the things that you're not good at. Then another cycle here, you do another iteration, you do a mapping of the things that you should be doing based on the phase you're in today, and then also on the things you should not be doing. That's where you start, and then you can use our data here, our sample data, or you can use tab number 3 that does have some pre-populated data about every business function. You can enter your own, again, entries. You can then enter the time you spend on each of these tasks. Then you can apply the right category. And then you'll have what I showed you here as in the example. You'll have this table at the bottom that's summarizing the hours based on these combined categories. And from here, you develop your action plan. So I hope this is convincing for you to go out there and start getting a hold of, getting your arms around this being overwhelmed with too many things, being in the weeds, not being able to focus on the business. So you use this methodology, use this approach, and again, track time for a couple of weeks and then enter it here. This way you have a more accurate assessment of where you're spending your time. If you are still not convinced, that this will help you, I want to end with one example. Let's say you charge $200 an hour. And let's say you spend 8 hours a week on some administrative work, the things that you're good at, or maybe you're not good at, and should not be doing from our sheet there. So if you're spending 8 hours on this administrative work times $200 an hour, your hourly fee, that's $1,600 of potential revenue gone. So if you hire a part-time assistant, a virtual assistant, an intern, someone who can help you, and let's say they charge you $20 an hour to handle those tasks, that's going to cost you 8 times 20. That's going to be, well, let's say, I don't know, let's say they have $25 an hour. It's going to be anywhere $160 or $200 an hour, but that will free up the time for you to sell those 8 hours at $1,600, right? So that's the value of you finding someone else to help you with these tasks. And then, yes, you have to pay someone and you have to manage them. So there's a bit of an overhead, maybe an hour or two of overhead, but you'll still come out on top, anywhere from $1,400 to, I don't know, higher, because now you have time to think about pricing and maybe up your pricing from $200 an hour to $250 an hour, right? So again, plug in your own numbers. Remember what I said earlier. Assess the phase you're in and where you should be putting your time and energy and focus. And then remember what 2 quotes I mentioned today, one from Stephen Covey: the main thing is to keep the main thing. And then also what Richard Branson said: learn. If you are serious as an entrepreneur, if you are serious about growth, you gotta learn to delegate. All right. If you have any questions, if you're liking this content, hit the like button, share this content, share this video, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, especially, if you have a question and you're stuck and you can't get unstuck, I'm here to help. And before we wrap up, again, check out our channel at Startup with Ferris on YouTube. Hit like, subscribe, share, and also check out our blackbeltstartup.com website. We have our training and coaching program. It's a complete curriculum on everything you need to start and grow a business. And then we also have office hours. We have access to tens of templates for you and processes for you to, again, scale that business. And then this program is built on 20 plus years of experience in entrepreneurship, 7 ventures, and also 15 plus years in martial arts. So these time-tested principles are all combined to help you start, grow, and scale your business. And we do have a promotion for those of you who watch or listen to the end. It is 20% off anything and everything we have on blackbeltstartup.com. So enter the code BBSU20, Black Belt Startup, BBSU20, and you'll get a 20% discount. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.